What's up, everybody? Today we got the Turtles of Grayskull, Mutated Master of Nature, Moss Man. Look at this figure right here. God damn, this shit looks good. Moss Man is all whacked out with all the moss and everything over his body. It's already looking impressive, but let's take a look at the back of the box. And right there, looking at that artwork, with him facing off against Leonardo, Moss Man don't want him in his swamp. He's ready to fuck him up. And by the looks of it, he's already got him gripped by the legs, but let's see what the description says. Attorney is living manifestation of nature. Moss Man joined Heman to investigate the mysterious disturbance at the swamp of Gangoon. After an ambush that took him out of commission, Moss Man rose from what it felt like a nightmarish slumber as a brainwashed abomination of all he once held dear. So basically, the mutagen fucked his ass up. And right there at the bottom, he said he could attack with the fly trap or swap into heads to chomp enemies. Well, that shit looks pretty decent. But now it's time to check out the side of the box. And right there, it shows you as add the vines to the back of the body, or take the head off, put the extension neck on, and add on the fly trap, and that's it. Right here on the card for Moss Man, Mutated Master of Nature, his mutagen master powers is Moss Man, camouflage in nature, shape-shifting to plant life, telepathic communication with plants with a mutation, zombified manifestation of the dark forest, overgrown with dangerous plants, overpowering toxic scents. Them overpowering toxic scents must be the weed, but right here it shows all the swappable, removable parts, which is the standard for every other figure. And now it's time to check out Moss Man, and there he is, folks. This whacked out, mutated Moss Man, right off the bat looks great. Them crazy ass looking feet right there look like some crow feet or some shit. Wish it had a little bit more articulation. And right there coming up to the top of the body, that chest piece, god damn, that shit looks good. Them big ass hands, be able to hold a big ass blunt, that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But they definitely a lot bigger than your standard hand. But that chest piece right there, with the, looking like some bones and shit on that shit. And then the vines and everything that made up his armor, it's very creative. With that fucking face. Oh, I love the detail on that shit. My man's rocking a nice strong beard right there. I love the red eyes that makes it pop. But all in all, I love the translucent body on his ass. Damn, that shit looks good. And right here, we got some crazy ass pieces. He got this one vine looking shit that he could hold in his hand like a gun. What do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just an extension of just vines and whips. And then right there, that neck extension slash another type of gun that I can connect that vine to right there, that fly trap. And right here, we're gonna show some of the little movement right there, articulation. That bitch opens and closes. That's pretty nice. And not only can he hold it as a gun, but he can put it on his head, which you're gonna try in a second. Right here, flipping it on the back. You can see how well that shit goes on. That little handle right there. That's how he holds it in his hand. The same thing with that side right there. That big part, that's how he holds that motherfucker. And then working our way right there, that's where the head socket goes, you know what I'm saying, to connect the neck extension. Or just pop that bitch on his head. That shit looks all right. I'm glad they gave us extra pieces. But right now, looking at the back of the body, as you can see with them crow feet at the back, whole bunch of different toes and shit. And then working our way up the body, it really helps me appreciate the translucentness of his body. And then we got them big ass Doc Ock looking vines coming out the back of his ass. Look at that shit. Now the plastic, it's just you can move it. You know what I'm saying? But it just stays into place. You know what I'm saying? It's just strong enough to be like that. But it ain't gonna break. If you know what I'm saying, just a little bendy, you know what I mean? But that shit is strong. And all it does is just go in the back of the back. That's it. If you want to take that shit out, you can, just like that. Comes right out. You don't want all that shit hanging around. That shit looks decent. I love the detail in the back of the vines though, working our way up to his head. This motherfucker ain't flocked, but he don't need to be flocked, because I love the translucentness of the figure. Right here, looking at that neck extension on his ass. Why would he do that? I don't know, but I'm glad that we got the option. You know what I mean? If he wants to look his head way up high, take a peek at motherfucker in his face, look at Krang right dead in his eyes, he could do that shit just like that. I like the way that shit looks in general, but right there, I really like the way that shit looks. Crazy ass Venus flytrap head. Y'all can see it still got all the neck articulation, plenty of room to move that bitch, and then that shit can open and close with that nasty looking tongue in the mouth. That shit looks pretty good. And since it's on that long-ass neck, that shit can turn to the side, open and close. It can do everything you need it to do. Just like, you know what I'm saying, pretend like it's a fly trap. Because that's what it is, a big-ass fly trap for a figure. But the one thing I'm glad that they did is they made it so it could be used as something you can hold in his hand. You'll see that shit right there. First off is that other vine thing that he holds, just, you know what I'm saying, like a big-ass hand extension, whatever you want to call it. It's got them 3 big-ass fingers looking like and shit. And then over here, there it is as a gun, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he can hold that shit in his hand, just like that. And luckily, if you put both in the hands, his ass can balance just good enough. But if I try to move him anymore, his ass is gonna topple over. There's a lot of plastic for his ass to be holding. And right there, that's what did it. The ooze, TGI, you know what I'm saying, changed his ass up. Now right here, butt-ass naked, I took all his shit off the body. You can see all the details in the vines, just like all the other mutated figures. You know what I'm saying? That shit just be getting all up in him, all steroid up. Roid rage, you know what I mean? He's walked out. And I like the way that shit looks. I like that his body is clear, because we don't get too many figures like that. And then right there, we got one dog to test out his armor and shit on a normal person. That shit looks good. You know what I mean? I don't mind the shit at all. He's rocking that shit pretty nice. Now, if I had to choose between rocking him butt-ass naked with the armor, I'd probably keep the armor on his body. I don't mind the look of it, but I damn sure like the translucentness of the figure. Now, right here, comparing all the mutated figures that we got so far in the line, starting our way off with mutated Ram Man, the walked out veins, working our way over mutated Moss Man, mutated Heman, and then last but not least, Mouse Jaw, you know what I'm saying? Which he don't got no walked out veins. His body just augmented with the mouse body and shit. But right there between these 3, the one thing I can say is I am so glad they are giving us all these different options of body parts. You know what I mean? Between big ass hands, big ass arms, crazy looking feet, different types of translucentness in the figure. Because right there, you know what I'm saying, the Moss Man, he is easily the most see-through of the bunch. And then we got He-Man, and then last but not least, right there, the Ram Man. But between these 2 right there, you know what, some would be decent? What if Moss Man had them big ass arms on his ass, and He-Man has some small ones? We about to try that shit right now. Look at that shit. It actually looks kind of interesting. Just keep in mind, you know what I'm saying, if the colors matched. You know what I mean? If Moss Man was just super walked out with them big ass arms and shit, matching with the hands, all that shit would look decent. I like it. I could always use some bigger ass arms. And then right there on He-Man, I don't know. It looks different. You know what I mean? Especially with that, them different types of bottom part of the arms. You know, like Beast Man and shit. But right there, I think I can dig with that. But I want to try something else. Now, right shit. Right there, Moss Man with some big ass, fat ass arms. That shit might look all right. If they gave us options, but with the Ram Man, I don't know what happened right there. I don't know what's going on. That shit's looking kind of crazy. It's looking a little suspect and shit, Ram Man. I might have to fix that. I'm gonna have to change that up real quick. There it is, folks. He's got his hands, you know what I'm saying, in a normal spaced out. I kind of like the way that looks. I can imagine a Ram Man with big ass hands with skinny ass arms. Same thing right there. If he just had them arms that color, I think that shit would look decent. But right there with all the armors on the body, it's a hard decision which one I might like the best. Damn sure ain't gonna be Mouse Jaw. It is between these 3 right here. And you know what? If I had to cut out one, I'm gonna have to cut out Ram Man's ass. So then it's between them 2 right there. It's a hard decision. Because I love me some He-Man, but my ass do love me some Moss Man too. So that's a hard decision. I mean, they both got their pros and cons, you know what I mean? Moss Man, he's got all them extra pieces and shit with the body. While He-Man, that's He-Man. And he's walked the fuck out. So yeah, I might have to pick me He-Man, but then it'll be a close second to be Moss Man, followed by Ram Man, and last but not least, Mouse Jaw. But all in all, I am so glad that we're getting all these mutated figures, and damn do I want some more. I can't wait. But right here, bringing down Moss Man, meet Mutated Moss Man. Moss Man, he's just gonna get fucked up. offer that man some weed and shit. And that's gonna chill his ass out. You know what I'm saying? Moss Man knows how to calm down the common folk. And his ass is chill to his environment. But all in all, folks, this new Mutated Moss Man, oh, I'm a big fan. I love the way the figure looks. And like I said previously, the translucentness of the figure really makes his ass stand out. And I do appreciate it. Great job on this figure, Mattel. But I got something else to show you. Right here, folks, I'm giving away a Rokkon. I like hooking people up, and what better way to do it than with a Rokkon figure? So if your ass wants to win this motherfucker right here, all you gotta do is leave a comment down below. And that's it. I'm gonna take everybody that leaves a comment, put them in the randomizer, and somebody's gonna be a winner. And I'm gonna announce that winner, let's just say, like 5 days from today. How about that shit? So leave those comments below, folks. And other than that, I'll see y'all later.
Come on, He-Man, let me out of here. Stop teasing me. I'm so thirsty. This ain't right.
Thanks for watching, folks. And if you like what you saw, do my ass a favor and drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel while you're at it. It ain't gonna hurt you, is it? Come on now. Go ahead and hit the button. I know you have to hit the button. Hit that goddamn button, drop a like. All right, I'm out of here.